Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Social Pyramid Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. And today we have a really fun episode for you guys. I had the chance to sit down with Heidi. She is one of the former hosts of the Dusty and Heidi Show. Basically, we were able to sit down and talk about this new world of dating, of modern dating, Tinder, OkCupid, direct messages, all that fun stuff. We had the chance to kind of talk about each other's experiences and how it kind of molded us into the people that we are today, and how we can continue to use those experiences to, further develop ourselves and kind of, take all our mistakes and all our heartaches and our heartbreaks, whatever you did or didn't do, and kind of move forward and reestablish ourselves as a new person, I guess. But yeah, it was a really fun conversation with her. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. As always, we have some local music today. We have the band Caleco. They're one of the really good bands out there right now. And, we're basically showcasing their music. So this is their song, So Familiar. You can check them out on Spotify. They have a new album, I believe, online. It's called Boost the Highs. So feel free to check it out. Show them some support. I hope you guys enjoy the song and the episode. And if you want to hear the full song, obviously stay at the end of the episode and give your ears some extra love. Without much further ado, enjoy the episode. And also, thank you guys. Thank you for all those people who take the time to respond on Instagram, to the questions, answer the polls. That kind of stuff kind of helps us guide the conversation as to where it's going. So again, you guys are the real motherfucking MVPs. Keep at it. I appreciate the support, and I hope to hear from you guys on the next set. Enjoy.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Social Pyramid Podcast. Today we have a long time, we've been waiting to talk to this person for a while now. It happened, but audio problems has kind of caused difficulties.
Some issues,
as they happen.
Yeah.
But you're here now.
Yes.
We have Heidi.
Hi.
Heidi, a former co-host of the Dusty and Heidi Show.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I know last time we were here was Dusty and I. We were here together. He and I still had our podcast going on. And then, I don't know, we had issues with the audio. But now I'm back.
You're back alone this time.
Unfortunately.
That's cool, yeah. No, because he has his podcast, The Uncle Tom Show.
Yeah.
So he's focused on that. He's doing really good with that. That's a little crazy for me.
Yeah.
I'm more about talking shit, like dumb shit. I don't like to get into serious shit.
Yeah, you saw it. He has some pretty serious conversations he has on
serious
there.
Conversations, yeah. I like the serious, like what we're going to get into today. This kind of stuff is cool for me. But, I don't like people disagreeing with me too much.
Yeah.
I get mad.
Yeah, I get you. You start getting... I guess for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but again, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You here.
Yeah.
And, so, basically what I kind of wanted to touch base on today, or kind of like,
dig into.
Dig into is like, dating, like modern dating, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah,
and, like,
it's crazy.
How it's just like, it's crazy. I mean, it's just whole different from, I mean, I'm not aging myself, but I mean, I have an idea of it growing up.
Oh, I'll age myself. I've been through all kinds of cycles of dating. I've been single forever. And so I've just seen such a shift in dating for sure. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so talking about that shift, like, I mean, nowadays you have, like, Tinder, like...
Yeah. I've never done Tinder, though.
You never done Tinder?
I've never done Tinder.
They kind of forced me to create a profile once. Yeah, it was... I found it just really odd. Like, I was in a point in my life where I had just gotten out of a relationship. Yeah. So I was kind of against it. Like, I was more pressured to, like, come on, make it feel good.
But isn't it more of a hookup thing, Tinder?
Yeah, that's what it was... At some point, it made sense to me. Like, okay, this place is just like hooking up and one night stands type of thing.
That's kind of what you need, right? After a breakup, no?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would say probably not.
Probably not.
You still feel empty and void inside. Sad.
The sex doesn't fill it, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Not talking from experience.
Okay,
I was. You know what? No, I mean, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I did feel like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of go through that, and now you have like these little, how do I say it? Like, different ways to kind of look for that date. Because before it was more like, hey, I'm gonna approach you like old school and see if you kind of want to hang out, go out if you're.
You don't get that anymore. I swear, I'm like, no one approaches me. It's weird now.
What? For real?
It's very weird. That's why I'm like, okay, I felt for a while like I had to do online dating and apps, but I met some fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about those things.
Are girls weird too?
There's some weird girls.
Yeah.
I mean, like at least from my experience, if I had been when I was on those apps at some point, if anything, I was probably like on OkCupid for like a month tops.
Yeah.
But it was some weird stuff, like, first of all, it's like you never get a response. You hardly get a response.
Thank you.
Like...
Me either.
You start feeling like really bad about your self-esteem and your self-confidence. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Or how about like if they message you first and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This one's cute, right? And then you message them back and they never respond. And you're like, you were interested 35 minutes ago.
Yeah, it happens. And I mean, at least from one of the times it happened, the girl ended up asking me, she basically wanted me to just send her money so she can buy stuff for school. And she was like, I'll send you pictures.
Fuck?
And I was like, I can just go online. Like, look at whatever I want.
Yeah, for free,
so it's like
bitch.
random, like the fact that, some people look for it, but they kind of want something to gain from,
Oh my God,
it's weird.
I can't believe that
place.
a girl would ask you for money.
Yeah,
that's a trip.
It's weird. I think just because they're like it's online, it's easier to kind of get away with saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just still weird. Like,
yeah.
It's.
I can't do it. I've tried it. So last year, I did meet someone and we dated for a little bit, but he ended up being fucking nuts, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I mean, I'm not the most normal person. I would be a big ass liar if I said that, but I'm honest at least about my crazy. Like I let someone know, like, fucking crazy. I embrace it. I'm gonna let you know, like, I'm not gonna trick you. I'm not going to pretend to be sweet and nice. I'm not fucking sweet and nice. Like, let's not pretend. I have a nice side, but I'm not. And I think that's the problem. A lot of people just kind of pretend to be what they think you want them to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not fair. Like, just show them who the fuck you are from the beginning.
Yeah, and that's the thing with, like, those kind of apps and, like, websites. It's just, like, you're forced to kind of put your whole self in a profile to kind of summarize who you are.
It's like selling yourself.
And selling yourself, exactly. And then, off of that, people are just basing off if you're interested or not.
It's so impersonal. Like, it's so weird because part of me, when I first started doing it, I was like, well, at least I get to know something about them.
Yeah.
Before I decide if I want to talk to them or not. But I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, you know what? I need to meet someone in person. I need to feel their vibe. I need, and that's going to suck because men don't approach women anymore.
Yeah, right? I mean, when they do approach you, I feel like at least
do you approach women?
Like physically? Like approach
yeah.
them? Oh,
physically.
man, no, I don't.
Exactly. How old are you?
I'm 28.
You see, and I think like that age range, I think, no shit, even in my age now, men are like, I'm like, really, guys? Like, back in our day, you guys used to have to do that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, kind of it is because, I I don't know. I guess growing up, I wasn't always like, you're obviously not always going to be confident in yourself, right? So I mean, that kind of, conditions you to think certain ways. But at some point, you realize, okay, maybe I'm not like as bad as I think I am.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like, embrace it in a sense. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard.
But I don't think that was common for you guys, like in your age range. I don't think that was a common thing, because I think that you, like, once you got to like the dating age, the internet was already a big thing. Like, I'm talking about internet was non-existent till I was like, oh shit, I think like 22 maybe. Yeah. And I'm 39 now. Mm-hmm. So it didn't really exist. We didn't know what that was. And, then they started like chat rooms and shit like that, I didn't do any of that. I stayed away from that. I didn't even do MySpace. I didn't even have Facebook forever because I was like, no, So I don't know. I don't think that it was as common for you guys to have to approach someone because you had technology to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
To make connections.
Exactly. We were kind of bred into that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's more normal for us. I mean, I guess in my case, I was like 12 and I was like in 2001 or 2002, right? Mm-hmm. And I still, we will still send letters like, oh, hey, you want to go out with me?
You would?
Yeah, I know. We'll still do letters and like,
that's cute. At least you still got to do that.
The little kid kind of stuff, But it's still, you kind of, even if I didn't approach you and say, hey, I kind of want to go out with you.
You did have like, somewhat of a personal connection.
Yeah, it's like an actual letter, and then they'll either reject you or not.
Time to write it. Did you put the little yes or no box?
Yeah, I did.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of worked sometimes. It was disappointing when it came back with a no, but... You live and you learn, so I'm kind of used to those rejections.
No, I think that it sucks to be a guy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I got a taste of it because one of the first apps I did last year, because I got on a kick last year. I was like, I want to date, like serious.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so I did Bumble. Have you heard of Bumble?
Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah, Bumble. It's like
Was it Bumble? Yeah.
Supposed to be like a more sophisticated...
Was
one,
it
at least
Bumble? No, where the women make all the moves. Is that it?
Yeah, I think it is Bumble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that shit was stressful. Let me tell you. First off, I was like, okay, so you do the whole like liking thing, like don't like, whatever. And then you have to initiate conversation with a guy, right? I did not realize how hard that was.
Like to initiate the conversation?
Yes. You guys have a tough fucking job.
Yeah, I mean...
I can't even imagine going up to somebody.
You gotta like, at least in OkCupid, you'll send like you're basically sending an emo blast to all your potential mates and stuff.
Copy paste.
At some point, somebody responds, and again, it just leads to nothing, obviously, sometimes. But it's like... It's so hard, because I will assume that being a woman, you get a bunch of requests, because at least from what I read is that the ratio between men and women in those apps is, it's like 10 men for 1 woman or something.
Really?
Yeah, at least from what I've heard,
Wow.
So
I did get a lot, but like it was, people that they were ugly.
Hey,
there's no nice way to say
ugly.
it. I was like, no, nah, thank you. Very few guys that I was like, oh, he's cute, no.
Yeah, and then like you said, initiating that conversation, that's probably that's like the selling point at some point, like at least, if you respond, you see something witty, they'll laugh or something. Yeah,
that's always good.
Yeah,
always go with like, funny
hey,
or witty.
You? Or like,
or
hey,
WYD.
What
are you doing? What?
Yeah, it's like...
I'm a grown-ass woman. Use words, motherfucker.
Yeah, and there's no content for you to like even respond to something,
right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I don't even. Even if they spell out what are you doing, I'm not gonna respond. It's none of your business what I'm doing. We're not there yet.
Or the people who just straight up tell you let's fuck. It's like holy like shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
What though? I've never gotten dick pics. I know women. Yeah. I feel like. Am I like not dick pic worthy? Because I'm like I've never ever gotten a dick pic.
Yeah. So do you think if you got one, you'll be offended?
Well, perhaps before I would have been, but now I want one.
Now you want one?
Because now I'm like, why don't I get dick pics?
Yeah.
Like,
you're missing a part of womanhood.
Right?
Modern womanhood.
Like, I only got a few good years left before I could get a dick pic, I'm like, this is weird. Okay, why is everyone getting dick pics except me? So yeah.
Yeah, you see, those are the guys
Do you
that are
guys
coming
get
in.
like vagina pics? Is
No,
that a thing?
No, never. It's never.
Boobs, maybe.
Sometimes.
Boobs, huh?
Yeah.
And butts.
Yeah,
But not
and butts.
vaginas,
But
that's
it's more
not a
like
thing.
like the tease kind of pictures.
Oh
Not like the
yeah.
full blown
I'm not
ones.
showing you the whole thing.
Yeah, that's how those conversations usually go.
Gotcha.
Come on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
Just a little more to the left.
but it's interesting. Just like the whole idea of like dating through apps or meeting somebody.
Yeah.
Like at least like if I had to approach somebody through the app, you scavenge through the profile to see what you can nitpick from there to kind of start a conversation with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little weird. It could be a little creepy because you're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like I don't even know you, and you know that I like this and this. And
But hell, bitch, you threw it out there. Right? I mean, I only know because it's on your profile.
Yeah,
But you know what? I actually, to me, it was real flattering when someone read my shit and used something from my profile in conversation.
Oh, okay. Like taking
I
it,
liked
because
it.
they took the time to kind
Yeah.
of put the effort, some effort in there, right?
Some effort, yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, that would stand out to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it anymore ever again.
Never again.
Never again. It's so overwhelming.
Yeah. Did you get the chance to meet somebody? Oh, you did. You said you mentioned somebody from the app, and you actually met them outside.
I did, yeah. So last year, I met two guys.
Yeah.
So one on Bumble, because Bumble was a real like self-esteem fuck up, man. I was like, my God, I'm not interesting. I'm not pretty. Like it was fucked up, I was like, fuck Bumble. But I did meet someone there, and it never fails that the ones I like, they just don't like me back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was cool, and the guy that I actually dated, it was on Zeus.
Oh, Zeus. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, and he held the crazy in for a while. He held it in. He held it together for a little bit. And then that shit was like an atomic bomb and just came out. And I was like, you're fucking crazy. Like, just super jealous, you know, like, and possessive. And, I know you don't know me well, but I'm not the kind of girl that does well with that. I'm out there, you know? And a lot of men, they kind of, this has been my experience. They assume that because a lot of women use free spirit to get away with sleeping around. Like, if I'm going to sleep around, I'm going to let someone know you're not the only one I'm sleeping with. So you
be
should
straightforward
do your
with them
thing.
and know
Yeah.
what to...
But if I'm telling you, you're the only one, 100% you are. It doesn't matter if I'm wild.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking wild. Like, but it doesn't mean that I'm fucking around with other people.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Sometimes guys don't, they can't separate those two.
Yeah, I would, I at least think of myself now as a more controlled person in regards to that. I used to be really jealous when I was like in high school, early high school.
I think that's
not like
normal.
the psycho jealous, but
That's normal, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's more like, if I do feel a little jealous, I know where it's coming from, and you understand it a little better.
Good for you.
You understand yourself a little
Yeah.
better too, and you don't want to be the guy who's just going fucking batshit crazy,
Seriously.
You know?
And it makes, I think, like, I don't get people like that because I'm like, it only makes you miserable.
Yeah.
Because I've been jealous before. Trust me, I have, and after a while I was like, that's exhausting. No thanks. Like, I don't want that. It's too much.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and then when people, like you said, like you're straightforward in that sense, and I think like, when you hide that psycho, it's just like, it's not just only unflattering, but it kind of like makes you lose interest, like in just the idea of, like you said, like maybe it wasn't online dating that took you out of it, like his situation and stuff. I'm jumping my words here, but
no, I get what you're saying. Like that one bad situation makes me feel like, oh, that's all I'm gonna find on online dating.
Right.
Yeah, no, I've experienced enough weirdos online to be like, they're weird.
Yeah,
like these dating apps. But I know so many people that have met their significant other online or on a dating app. And I'm just like, how did you find the one normal person?
Yeah, right? Like
because I haven't.
No, it's because, it's easier for people to get away with stuff like the weirdness online,
For
like,
sure.
You've heard the term catfishing and stuff, right? Like,
I love that fucking show. I had no idea what it was till the show.
Yes, right. So, like, it happens especially on Instagram, because you're putting your pictures up.
Hell yeah.
And then you meet somebody and you're like, wait a second, like this
Women
person
do that a lot.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, they do.
And
They
these
do.
chicks that know about the angles, right? And then
They
I'll see
master
them
the
in
technique.
person. I'll be like, girl, where's
Yeah.
where's this person?
Yeah, and like, you know, adding filters to your pictures and stuff. You know, you have that option to do now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I never
think
do
it
that
just-
to my pic. I always put like just real shit.
how it is.
This is what I look like. And a lot of times when people meet me in person, they're like, oh, you look better than your pictures. And I prefer that over like,
Yeah.
where's your sister? That's fucked
Yeah,
up.
that's true. I remember seeing one time I saw some girl from far away, and I was like, oh, she looks like she can be good looking.
Yeah.
And like, she got close, and I was like, oh man. Like,
Damn.
yeah,
Was she your date?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
it was.
shit. Did
Yeah,
you
it was one
meet
of the first
online?
times- It was online. But it was back when AOL was still in the chat rooms too. I was like,
Oh, fuck.
15 or
I was going to
something.
say, yeah, you're young.
Yeah.
Because I remember those. I didn't do it, but that shit was, I remember people doing that shit.
yeah, no, but those chat rooms can get pretty crazy sometimes.
I never did it. So what was it? Was it a bunch of people talking? Or?
Well, I just remember like late in, what was it? No, early high school. No, it wasn't high school. What the fuck am I talking about? It was like college? Time.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't AOL chat rooms. It was, what was it? It was kind of like Zeus, but it's like, it's called Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of
Yeah,
fish.
Plenty
I
of
did
Fish.
Plenty of Fish.
That was an old school website.
But
Yeah.
I did that. Oh, yes, around that time.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, goddamn. I think that was like the very first one I ever tried. And I did that shit for like 2 weeks and I was like, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the idea of just meeting somebody, like, from online to, physicality, it's just so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, at least I have all these expectations. But I mean, I guess that's with dating in general.
Yeah.
Unless you meet somebody, like, at a bar or, like,
But
library.
how often does that happen?
Yeah, not that often anymore.
I know. And then, like, I think right now, too, dating to me seems so much more confusing. Like, I know before it was seriously like, you were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or you were dating, or you were friends with benefits. It was like, that's it. Those three were it. Now there's all these other side things where I'm like, I can't even fucking keep up with that.
I mean, my idea of dating was, again, like, just the one, kind of exclusively,
Yeah.
but you're talking to that one person. Yeah. But nowadays, it's like, you can be dating 4 people, 5 people, and it's like what? Like, I just don't see the fairness in that for anybody.
Well, but if you're honest...
Yeah, that's true. If you're honest and you're straight up about it at the beginning, and that person's okay with it, then I mean, even if they're not okay with it, as long as they,
well, if they're not okay with it, they shouldn't be dating. They should be like, you too crazy.
And that's the thing nowadays. That's the new thing. Like, it's odd. I don't know. I'll feel weird like if I was dating somebody and they're like, oh, but I'm also going out with 2 other guys. It's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, I may like her and stuff, but at least myself, I don't think I'll feel that comfortable with it. So, which is why I'm like,
remember, your mic is a girl.
Oh, extra careful.
Yes, you gotta be gentle.
I think
she's
back.
moody. Is she hungry? That bitch is hungry.
All right, cool.
Dale besitos.
What was I saying?
How you're not comfortable, you don't feel you'd
yeah.
be comfortable with multi-dating.
Yeah, even for myself.
I
Like,
made that shit up, multi-dating.
Multi-dating?
This sounds good, multi-dating.
Yeah, I don't think I can multi-date, you know? Like, I don't, like, I've had people, like, message me and, like, tell me, hey, this and that. But, like, I don't feel inclined to go out with multiple people at once. Like, I just feel like it's just so much pressure, like, juggling, all this stuff. It's like, that's why I'm out. I'm out of the scene right now. Like, I'm just like...
I don't blame you.
No,
it's so funny because for, like, the past few years... So, I don't want to say anti-relationship, but it just... I wasn't interested in a serious relationship for a long-ass time. And then, like, the last 4 years, I could say, I was kind of like, you know what? I want a boyfriend. And it became like... I almost became more fixated on this concept of having a boyfriend than... And this is all new. By, like, this weekend, this hit me, right? Where I was like, I've become so fucking obsessed with just, like, finding a boyfriend that I am attracting people that are not good for me. Because I'm not really focused on, like, the connection and the person. Like, I want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's like anyone. No, I won't just date anyone. But I was real quick to kind of ignore some shit I should have paid attention to. That I would have back in the day when I was not giving a shit. Mm-hmm. And so I'm, like, at a weird place right now where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to date.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to date. I'm going to focus on me. And figure out what the hell's going on in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what a lot of people don't do, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're straight to jump. I guess, like, again, speaking from my experience, you know, when my shit happened, like, years ago, like, I just remember feeling, you know, like you said earlier, like the one-night stands or, like, that empty void feeling that you get. Like, it's you know, some people might hear it and say, oh, stop being a pussy and stuff, but, like, the sex doesn't fill you, you know? No. Like, it's just, you have it is
temporary.
What it is. But right afterwards, you feel like shit again. You're like, you know, like, fuck. You know,
and I think you feel more like shit because there's this expectation that you're going to feel better.
Yeah.
And you don't.
And
it's a disappointment on top of feeling like shit.
Yeah, and it's horrible. It's an ugly feeling, you know?
I didn't really think guys felt that too.
I mean, I hope they do. You know, I guess when you're invested, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, like when something really matters to you.
Yeah.
You will feel it. I'm sure people can, you know, find other ways to deal with it, but sex is not the answer.
Yeah.
It'll feel good, of course, but
it's like we're talking about drugs, huh? Drugs is not the answer. Sex is not the answer either.
Yeah, it's not the answer. Although you might think it is, you know, but it's more because I guess you're just trying to find that connection. You know, like, there's a connection you're missing, and that you're trying to kind of mend back together with some random sex.
And you know what? You're right, because I mean, I've been through a lot of phases in my life, and there was a while where meaningless sex was cool.
Yeah,
I could do it. I was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't mean shit, you know. But then when I let my guard down and actually started caring, you know, and wasn't pushing people away, and then we'd break up.
Yeah,
you know. You're right. Like, that void was fucking ugly. You know, it was so ugly. And then, so I would try to go back to my old ways and be like, I'm going to go fuck someone right now and just get out of my system, right? No, didn't work.
Yeah, no, it
didn't work. It felt way worse. Like, I feel like shit. Why don't I feel amazing like I used to?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I mean, at least for me, my answer to it was kind of like, you know, because rejection's an ugly thing, too. And it's like, you don't want to be rejected. You know, nobody likes being said no to.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you put yourself out there and, like, you know? So, like, at least for me was, I kind of wanted to chase that uncomfortable void feeling, like that empty feeling. Or not empty, but, I don't know, I just wanted to feel something above that. So I started doing, like, probably, like, risky stuff, like, I don't know, like, decided to skydive or, like, you know, just put myself in situations where I was straining myself more than I could.
Yeah.
And I felt like that in itself helped me a little better, because I felt like I was pushing towards something better for myself, you know? And then that focusing on myself type of thing kind of helped align things back, and, you know, and then everything, you attract what you put out in a way, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, putting out that energy that you want something better for yourself, people see it, you know, they start picking it up, and then...
That's why I had to check myself recently, because I was like, you know, I asked myself, I was like, I keep attracting the same types. You know, and I was like, okay, because for being a woman, I'm actually very logical a lot of times, right? Surprisingly. And so I was like, what would I tell someone? What would I tell one of my friends if she was like, I keep attracting the same guy? I would say, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
So I had to, and you know, that's a uncomfortable question to ask, because you're either going to ignore it and keep doing dumb shit, and then one day be like, I told you, you know, talking to myself. Or you have to face it and do something about it. And so, having to, like, face it and be like, you need to figure out what's going on with you.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense, because at some point you start justifying, like, everything that's going around just to kind of, you know, in a sense,
to not feel crazy or responsible.
Yeah, you know, you let your ego start, you're okay. You know, like, you're fine, keep doing it.
They're crazy, not you.
You know, then that happens, and then you buy into it, and then you're back into your...
you know, into your vicious cycle.
Back in your bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, no, I don't, you know, I'm done. It's very clear now that attracting the same type, and it's a type I don't want. It's like chaos, you know, and I don't like chaos. Like, but then I'm wondering, like, do I? Because I fucking keep attracting it. So it's one of those things right now where I'm like, it's all right, Heidi. We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, I think you know, with time, everything kind of falls back into place.
Yeah,
balance is fuck. Why can't I even say it?
It's late, man. I was driving over here. I'm like, I'm half asleep. I'm going to be so uninteresting. He's going to be like, why the fuck did I have her on here?
I was drinking coffee, and I'm already thinking, like, I'm going to be wired. Like, I was just deep breathing.
Shit, what time is it? I'm usually already, like, getting ready for bed at this time.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck, it's hot, too.
It's funny that we were talking right now, like, you know, like, let me move this here quick, just in case
All right.
You know, going back to, like, I said something along the words about it doesn't benefit everybody when you're dating multiple people.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to bring up, like, I've heard people, like, on fucking Instagram or Facebook, you know, they put quotes or something, or some girl's bio is some cheesy quote.
Yeah, I love quotes. I'm that cheesy chick. No, I don't have it on my bio, but I fucking love quotes. Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
It's just some people just put the wrong quotes.
Yeah.
Like, some girl I follow on Instagram, she put something like, "Oh, I don't need no man," like type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get that, you know, the independence, you know, the feministic woman power, and I get it, I understand it, and I'm okay with it. The part that just kind of like irks me is just like the you don't need no man part, because I mean, again, you kind of you're setting expectations for any future person to come in and kind of like show you, hey, like not every guy that, or one guy, not everybody's an asshole or not everybody's a dick type of thing.
And I think it makes you come across as angry. Yeah. To me, there's a lot of anger in that statement. Yeah. I don't need whatever it is. You know, I don't need a man. I don't need bitch, stop. You do. You do. Yeah. I mean, are you going to fuck yourself? Yeah. I mean, listen, I handle business on my own. It's not as great as a man. Just like I'm sure, a man could masturbate. Is it as great as being with a woman?
Not at all.
No, right? Yeah. It's just a relief. So you're lying, homegirl, you're lying, you know? And to me, it's like when you're so like that, like, I don't know. To say you don't need, or even like a man, I don't need a woman, right? But it's more women that are like, I don't need a man. You're just kind of like letting your insecurity shine. Yeah. You're showing how much pain you're in. Like, girl, like, work on that. Don't let the world know. Like, there's a difference between being honest and then just being angry and letting the world see how insecure you are.
Yeah, people just looking at your page every time and just laughing.
Yeah, and just being like, damn, this girl she got hurt. Who are you?
I've observed some girls looking at other girls' Instagram posts.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, look what she's doing. You know, like, pointing stuff out, and it's like, oh, like, you know, don't give them a reason to do that. Not that it matters for anybody else, but again, like, at some point I learned that I couldn't be posting my emotional shit on Facebook and, like, you know, doing, like, undercover posts that say something, lyrics to a song, like, stuff like that, you know? And I realized, like, that's just foolish. Like, I felt like a fool.
You know, I'll look at a guy's social media because I think it's very telling. I mean, not always, but I remember I did briefly, I mean, we didn't really date, but this guy like lived on social media and I'm just like, why? You know, like, why do you have to put, and then I was mortified when he like put a picture of it and I was all, we are not there. Like, why would you put a picture
of me? Of you.
Yes, like of us together. And I was like, you did not have permission for this.
That's kind of funny. There's like a underlying rule about posting somebody else in your picture. You know, I mean, like if it's a guy and a girl type of thing.
Yeah, like ask me.
Yeah.
Right. I was just like, and then you know, I that was weird to me. And then I went on his Instagram and I was like, okay, that's cool. Then you have a collection of chicks, so I'm just part of the collection. But even then, I was like, I don't want to be part of a collection. Like, he should have asked, you know? But yeah, so to me, like that, like someone that's constantly on social media, we're not going to be a good fit. Yeah. Because I'm not. You know? And to me, it's weird, someone that you have nothing better to do than to constantly be on social media.
Yeah, right. Then just going out there and doing your own thing.
Let's go do something.
Yeah.
Right? And then don't post about everything we do. Don't, like, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this people are
you writing are you creating a documentary where you have to like
exactly documenting every event in his life or with anybody he's with?
But I would recommend you guys go on their pages, check it out, because like a guy that has a ton of selfies too, I'm like, no, dude.
Yeah, I've seen some dudes like, dude, like 1 or 2 selfies maybe like every month or 2 months.
Or, you know, if it's an interesting selfie.
Yeah.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, or
that's
cool.
cool.
Or at least have like 10 pictures in between your selfies.
Yes.
Like, you know, mix it up. Because some guys are just back to back with those selfies.
That's crazy to me. And I mean, to me, men or women, when you have a fuck ton of selfies, again, not anything like interesting going on, just like a selfie for every fucking thing. That's to me really vain.
Yeah.
I want someone that's confident, but not someone that's like, dude, you think you're so great. Like, is there room for me in your life? Because you're fucking really into yourself.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I can't handle that.
Like the same picture in the bathroom like 5 times.
5 times. Just because you changed your shirt, stop it. Stop it. You're not a model.
Like, I've seen a lot of guys too, like, I know it's possible for somebody to, you know, go through, because Instagram is just like a whole, you know, it's a picture book of your life or whatever you do. And, I've at least had, you know, like 2 cases where somebody like, I don't know them or anything, and they'll be like, oh, hey, like, I think I like you. And it's like, what? I'm like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know you. I, you know, occasionally like your pictures, occasionally like mine. But
like
like
they'll message you?
Yeah, like the direct message.
Oh,
and
yeah?
just tell me straight out, like, hey, I like you, or I think I like you, or like, you know, little comments like that. Which, it's cool. I'm sure a lot of girls
like, not
get
even
those
strike
comments.
a conversation?
No conversation.
Just, I like you?
Yeah, and it's
That's
like, what do you want me
weird.
to say to that? Like,
I like you too?
It's like, I mean, you're just putting yourself out there, and I respect that because it takes courage to say that, you know. I don't have that confidence to.
I've had
random,
that.
You know?
I've had that happen, and I'm just like, you don't know me.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you like
know?
me?
Like,
Yeah, you don't know me.
But I can understand, like, you know, people don't want to waste your time. You know, I think a lot of people just want to get to the point. But again, without that support of facts or personality and whatever it is, like, you can't really start off just
like I get, because I'm really big on not wasting people's time or wasting, like, my time. To me, like, I really value my time.
Yeah.
Like, the older I get, maybe because I'm like, fuck, I don't have that much left, you know? Like, like I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really, really value my time. So I'm very careful who and what I invest my time in, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really, like, if I'm not interested in someone, I'm going to let them know, like, you know, as nicely as I can, as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And that's usually really soon, right? But, yeah, to, like, just jump the gun like that without ever even, I mean, to me, like, is like, you know this person.
Yeah, like, you've already had, like, some, your
That's
heart races,
fucking
like,
weird
oh,
to
shit.
me. Yeah, right? They make you smile.
It's funny because, like, in one of those cases, you know, I told them, like, oh, yeah, well, you know, thanks for telling me, but I'm not looking to date right now and stuff like that. I'm just focused on other stuff. And they're like, well, I can't wait. You know, I it's not going to be a bother or anything. Like, you could do you. And I was like, I don't know.
Does that mean?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? That's not, you know, not just I like you. That's expecting, like, some other shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it gets weird. I mean, again,
it
just gets fucking weird.
I don't know. I think sometimes, and you know, it's not even an age thing because I see women my age where I'm just kind of like learn to have some self-respect and love yourself, you know, because it's crazy the shit that they'll put up with, the shit that they'll do, the things they'll, you know, and I don't know. I'm just kind of like, that's too much, you know, like, why would you do all that for someone who isn't willing to do it for you?
Yeah. I think just, like in general, like, I was going to bring earlier, like, guys, like, there's a lot of guys that are not confident. Like, you know, first,
they pretend to be, though.
They pretend to be confident. And they're not.
No.
It's just,
I know.
it's like, yeah, it's weird, huh? Like,
so weird.
I mean, because it's easy to be confident on Instagram. Nobody's fucking looking at
on
you.
Facebook.
Yeah, you know? But once you come face to face.
Or even talk on the phone where you're like, what happened? What happened to this guy? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen unfortunately, some friends that I don't know, that I've known, they just post like, oh, I'm ugly, or like,
What, they'll say that?
Yeah, like on Facebook, I'm ugly. Like, oh, I'm not gonna find anybody. And it's like, dude,
they post all that?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, that kind of stuff is not gonna attract any girl.
No,
you know,
it's
like
gonna do
at
the
all.
Opposite.
It's gonna do the opposite.
It's gonna do the opposite.
It's gonna just feel pity for you.
Yeah, it's gonna dry up. That's gonna be the Sahara down there. Like, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah, you gotta just be confident. It's not easy, but I think again, it kind of just starts with yourself. Like, you feel confident doing things you kind of, push towards. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I think I think so many people, they like confidence. This is the thing. There's always going to be someone that's better looking.
Yeah.
Always. It's impossible to be like the best looking, but people emphasize looks so much, right? Well, yeah, there has to be an attraction between two people. But to me, confidence shines from the inside. Like you said, someone who has done something that he was afraid to do and conquered it, right? That builds confidence. Someone who is invested in their art or in their passion, that builds confidence. Yeah. And I think we all go through roller coasters of like feeling like I'm the shit. Yeah, right? There's times where I'll be like, hell yeah. And other times I'm like, I'm hideous. Yeah. I'm so stupid. Right? Like it's just, that's life. And you just got to ride that roller coaster and not affect others. I think that's the key thing. Cause my experience has been like, when I was younger too, I wouldn't really call guys out on shit they would do because I don't know. I'm bitchier now in different ways. I was bitchier in different ways back then. But like some guys, because they're so insecure, they project that onto you, and that's where jealousy comes in, and they're so insecure that they're thinking like you're, I don't know, wanting to be with other people, looking at other guys, interested in other guys. And it's like, why did you get that out?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of scary because that kind of behavior could be, I mean, it depends on how bad, you escalate it, but it's really unhealthy.
Super unhealthy.
Yeah.
Super unhealthy.
Potentially dangerous. You know?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's how abusive relationships happen, of course.
Yep.
And
I think it stems from that. And then I've seen another approach, like where guys, they're so insecure that they're like jerky. They're jerks, right? And they find ways, like real subtle ways of making a woman feel inferior or bad about herself. Yeah. Like guys who will talk about like the super hot chick they dated before. I used to get guys that would tell me that shit, and I stayed quiet for a long time.
Guys
and I
just
be like,
or just guys
like going on a date with, like not necessarily dating, but like let's say a guy I'd go on a date with, right? And I was, like I wouldn't say anything for a while. Finally, I started calling them out on that, where I'd be like, just curious, why do you guys do that? Why do you find it necessary to tell a woman you're on a date with about this hot chick you banged or were with before? Just curious. What the fuck? And I swear to God, they would look at me like, like she called me on it. Yeah, I'm going to call you on it. Because it's such a jerky thing to do.
Yeah, you don't want to be with like douchebag. No. That's a douchey move. At least from my perspective, seeing like another guy do that, that's super douchey.
It is. And why would you do that? Because you're insecure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any other reason for you having to tell a woman you're on a date with, oh, the super hot chick I used to date.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, normally, my friends are not like that normally. Actually, no, my friends won't be like that. But other set of friends that I would have, that's just, the type of stuff you hear from them. Like, yeah, dude, I was with this girl. We were banging, like, whatever. Or they'll be like, hey, man, why are you, like, banging like all these other girls? And it's like, dude, like, don't be talking
get off my back.
Get off my back, man.
But you know what? It's cool to talk amongst yourselves that way.
Yeah.
Like women, we're bad. Yeah. We say some horrible shit. Yeah. Don't let us fool you. Like we say some horrible shit. But I'm talking about like you're out with a girl. Why would you? She's not your homie. Yeah, I think she's not your friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think it's just a way of them like, signaling and taking out their virtual cock and just like trying to say like, I don't know. I guess it's supposed to them.
I'm a stud.
Yeah, I'm a stud. I can get beautiful women. Type of thing.
High five. So could I.
And it's like, I don't know. It's just some guys can be fucking funny.
It's just, I swear to God, to me, it's like so complicated. Yeah. And I wish it wasn't. I wish it was like, I wish that you could just look at a person and just automatically be like, we're going to get along or we're not, but it's such a process to even get to that point.
See, I think like this brings in like the friends with benefits type of thing. I feel like, from stuff that I've been through, like, relationships are cool. I enjoy them. They're fun. But there comes a point in the relationship where things just get kind of like serious. I mean, they're gonna get serious. You're gonna, get acclimated to that person. You have expectations and you start a relationship.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have your arguments and all that relationship stuff. But I think like, friends with benefits, like, I feel like it's technically a relationship, I guess with different people at some point, but it's easier than a relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
if you could for reals have a true friends with benefits, this shit's the best.
Yeah, because you're friends, but there's no any of the expectation type of stuff. But you're still hanging out, doing your thing, and, in a way exclusively seeing them, if they are the friends with benefits. But I don't know, it seems like it's easier. Or I feel like if that mentality can be taken into a relationship, that would be like,
that's true.
Ideal, like.
But you see, this is a thing with friends with benefits. I mean, I think I've done it.
Yeah.
And for sure, like, you can't have the intimacy that you have in a relationship.
Right. Yeah, that is one thing that's really odd. Like,
yeah, you can't, because the minute that you start letting your guard down and you become, and I'm not talking physical intimacy. I'm talking emotional intimacy. You see, friends with benefits, it is such a casual relationship with no expectations that if you bring feelings into it,
it gets
that's when it gets fucked up and complicated. And so that's why you can't have, it's in a relationship, you're allowing your guard to come down. You're getting to know that person. Friends with benefits, it's real superficial.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are going to talk about movies, what you did last weekend. You're not going to talk about feelings.
Yeah, about.
You're not talking, you're not going to talk, right? You're not going to go to that person for comfort. Like, no, that person's for fucking and laughing.
And laughing.
And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's fun. That's it. It's fun.
Yeah, you're right.
Nothing intimate. You can't. So that's why, I think that's why with a relationship, I mean, a relationship, you got to let your guard down.
Yeah, you have to open up yourself. Both parties have to do it.
But friends with benefits, that is a recipe for disaster. And that's why, but I see this happen all the time. And I think women do this more than men. 'Cause in all fairness, women, we are more emotional creatures. And I don't think that there are as many women out there that can have sex without emotion.
Yeah.
As there are men. I think there are more men that are able to do that.
Right.
Right? So I think that women go into it like thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to have this friends with benefits situation. Y las pendejas, then they start feeling and then get all butthurt because he doesn't like it. But you knew from the beginning.
Yeah.
He told you from the beginning what it was. And you were okay with it. Oh, and you just can't have feelings. And never, please listen to me, men and women. You can never have a friend with benefits if it's someone you've cared about already.
Yeah.
No. I've done it too. Right? Where I'm like, we broke up, but he was great in bed. So months later, of course, he's creeping back in. And I'm like, we're not going to be in a relationship, but we could fuck. Yeah. But guess what happens? You're fooling yourself. You cared for that person once. It's going to creep up again.
Yeah, it's going to creep up. And it's going to be torn off like a Band-Aid again.
Yes! Yeah. And sometimes, doubly worse, right? Because you're like, I already knew it, and I did it again.
Yeah, man. That's why it gets complicated. I think it's a beautiful thing. When you get the butterflies, the first time you guys see each other or kiss and all that stuff. It's nice. It's
all the
really
first
nice.
times is cute.
Yeah, it gets complicated for sure. But I think as long as everybody's, at least trying to be level-headed and compromise with each other.
And honest.
And honest, yeah. Honesty and I think communication too. Communicating whenever something arises, kind of make it known. Even if you're dating, I'm dating 4 people or, whatever.
I date whoever I want.
I mean, even like that, I guess it gives the other person an idea okay, I'm for sure not the only option here.
Yeah.
But, it's weird.
And I think too, 'cause ideally, people should be honest, you know, and they should be forward. But I get it that sometimes those conversations are hard to have, you know, because you're like, should I say something? Are we there yet?
Yeah.
But I think to just like pay attention to how that person treats you. The way that person treats you will tell you 100% where you stand with that person.
Yeah.
Like recently, this recent guy is what made me take a step back and be like, the fuck is wrong with you? Talking to myself, right? Like, you keep attracting the same type of guy, like the emotionally unavailable guy.
Yeah.
Because sure enough, great guy. He's a very nice guy. You know, he's sweet, funny, blah, 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 blah. But very detached. You know, the minute like it starts getting close or deep, he takes a few steps back.
Yeah, he pulls away.
Pay attention to, is there a change in how often they communicate? You know, is this person all of a sudden going from texting you within the hour of you texting him? Because I don't expect a text right away. Like, I'm too busy for that shit, right? But like a reasonable amount of time, 2 hours, right? Something quick. It's not hard to be like, so I'm busy right now. I'm not ignoring you.
Or
right?
just talking to it and then record voice.
Something. But when you're texting me 7 hours later, when you used to text me all the time, that's a change.
Yeah.
Pay attention, guys and women. Pay attention to that shit.
I can speak from both sides. Like, I felt like how you mentioned that you were attracting, you know, certain type of men. You know, when I was a little younger, there was a time where the people who I was attracted to was emotionally unstable girls. You know, people who, you know, girls who had just some fucking problem. And it felt in the sense that I wanted to come around to kind of help fix them. You know, and, you know, you go in, they're like, okay, you know, you can try to do it. And then again, they're detached. At some point, they just kind of like leave you hanging, they break up with you, and you're like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
But then I can speak for the guy's side and why he will be detached. And again, it's like a cycle. Like, I would say that if I ever became detached from something like that was, again, because I was still partly hurt from previous experiences, or I just didn't want to get hurt again. You know, and I might feel like that nowadays sometimes, you know, like, maybe I don't do certain things or go out with certain people, you know, because I don't want to waste my time, you know, or get hurt again. Yeah. So that makes me kind of be like, I don't want it. Yeah. You know, and so if I was to go into a relationship like that, I'm not doing any favors for her, you know, because she might be, you know, she might want to try to meet me halfway, but I don't want to. You know, again, I'm not ready.
But you said something super important. Yeah. Meet someone halfway.
Yeah.
Don't go 80%, bitch. Stop. Right? Like, go halfway. If he's not meeting you halfway, he's obviously not ready, and don't force it, and vice versa. I don't know. I'm not a guy. I can only speak from a woman's perspective, you know? Yeah. But I know as a woman who's not interested, I know what do? Yeah. I'm not texting as often. Yeah. I'm not going to make myself as available. When I'm into someone, I make myself available.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fucking busy. I have a crazy ass job. I do all kinds of shit always. I'm always doing some shit, you know, like whatever. But when I like someone, when I'm interested,
you make time.
I make time.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if they're not making time for you, that's a clear indicator sign. That it's not.
Is he or she only inviting you over for sex?
Yeah.
And you know, if that's what you're about, cool.
Yeah,
cool. Like, look, there's this one guy. That's all I like him for, you know? And yes, for a while, I'd just go over to his place. We'd have a few drinks. We'd have sex. Yeah. I'd be like, thanks. And I'd go, right? And it was fabulous. And I'd still be hitting it right now, but he's a little weird too. Oh, fucking crazies. I'm telling you, crazies. Yeah. He can't even handle that. I'm like, I just want to fuck you. What the hell? So, yeah, I don't know. Pay attention to those things, because if you don't want that, you shouldn't settle.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't settle for that little bit he or she's willing to give you.
And I mean, the problem I think with some people is just that they put these rose-colored glasses on. And,
yes.
You know, just try to see past it, and you know, and you get stuck in there, and you get deeper and deeper. You get more invested into the partnership, relationship, whatever you call it. Yeah. And it's just a waste of time.
It is.
It's a waste of time.
It's like that's why I read something recently, that said, and I think I ended up posting it on Instagram because I was like, hell yeah, it's so true. Never settle for less than you're willing to give. Yeah. You know? And I think like a lot of us, I know in the past, I'd be like, I'm not going to settle for less. I'm not going to, less than what though? What does that mean, right? I'm not going to settle for less. What does that mean? But when you really think of it that way, like I'm not going to settle for less than I'm willing to give, you have a gauge. You know how much you're willing to give. So look for that in others. And don't feel bad about like fucking saying I'm more important than that. Like, why should you feel bad for putting a value on your person?
Yeah, exactly. You should not feel bad about it.
No. Value yourself. Because if you don't, then how the hell is someone else going to?
Yeah, that's true. One piece of advice that I kind of read on once that kind of like shifted my perspective on things was, you can't. I can't reword it exactly, but the whole idea of it was, you can't. It was some basic shit. What I forgot it right now. Jesus, I just had a brain fart.
That's all right. It happens to me daily. I'm like, I swear it was a wonderful idea.
I remember what it was. It's what the TED Talks, those videos are?
Love TED Talks.
Yeah. So there was a Buddhist on there, and basically her, idea was that there's nothing externally that can make you as happy as you can make yourself internally.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
that's
she
deep,
said it way more wise and more zen-like, but
100%.
That made a lot of sense, and I know it's easy for people sometimes to say that, but it goes over our head,
Yeah.
And you don't think about it, but that's true. Like everything has to come from inside.
Yeah.
And
it's so. Think about it though, like something like that is so simple but so difficult at the same time because we've been programmed to believe this fairy tale and that like this person is going to somehow compliment us and make us better.
Yeah.
But why can't we make ourselves better?
Yeah, exactly.
We have it in us.
They could, I guess they could compliment you.
Sure.
But at the same time, you're lifting up yourself in your own way. Like,
yeah.
I guess, Yeah.
No, you have it in you to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
But I think it's so hard because I'm a real big believer in energy, right? And like where we direct our energy. So, and I've been guilty of it the last 4 years. I'm telling you, this weekend, I just had like this major like breakthrough in my mind, right? Where I was like, holy shit. I was able to look and see myself as I really am. But for 4 years, I like placed all this energy on finding someone, right? Finding my person, the guy that I'm going to fall in love with and be forever or whatever, right? When in reality, I had to ask myself, why was that so important? What was I really looking for?
Yeah.
But all this energy was wasted on something that is not, it's out of my control. I cannot. It's not like looking for a job, right?
Right.
It's not like pursuing no. I think to me, love is a very deep spiritual connection and you can't force it. Yeah. And that's what I had to come to terms with this weekend. Like, no, like instead, let me focus all that energy on me.
Yeah.
On creating that happiness in me.
Yeah. Without, thinking that anybody else is gonna, for yourself.
For myself.
Do it for yourself.
100%.
Yeah. And I think once you hit that plateau, once you realize that, I mean, you start seeing the changes in little things, even if it's not just relationships, but you'll see like the change. Your mood, how you feel about yourself, everything around you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then that energy you can take into with somebody else. But,
if it happens.
Yeah. But now, yeah, exactly. Because some people just get into relationships because they just want somebody. It's not for, just serious stuff. I had a few friend recently who, her boyfriend broke up with her. And it's funny because I took a picture of them, like probably a week or two before they broke up. And I'm looking at the picture because I'm like going to send it out to them.
Yeah.
And through the picture, I can just see in his facial expression, like, at the time I was like, he just looks like, he looks disconnected. He's there physically with her.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, he looks like, they were kissing. She looks like she's really into it in her face, like she loves him, but he looks indifferent. And then 2 weeks later, they break up. And I told one of my other friends, I was like, yeah, dude, I kind of felt like it was coming. Like,
that's crazy you caught that.
Yeah, like, it was weird. And I just feel like when you're really paying close attention, you'll know.
Yeah.
And don't lie to yourself.
Exactly.
Just be straight up and, it's painful, but you're gonna save yourself more pain than in the future, you know?
Well, and I'm telling you, I hear people all the time complain about like, and it's mostly women.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just playing with me and he's wasting my time. No, you're wasting your time.
Yeah,
you're wasting your time, because if someone is making you feel that way, don't stay.
Yeah.
Run. And yeah, it hurts and it sucks.
Yeah.
Because like the guy I dated last year, like I fell hard. I hadn't felt like that in so long. But when I started seeing, in all seriousness, like things that were very serious red flags. Yeah, I was in love, but was it worth all this misery he was putting me through?
Yeah.
No. And it was like, it's horrible. It was like a detox when we broke up, because for sure I read somewhere that there's no stronger drug than another human being, and that's so true. Like the connection that we have with other people, like when you're in love is, oh God, it feels like shit when you break up. It does. And so, but guess what? At the end of it, I'm so much better.
Yeah, exactly. You get like just that retrospective perspective, like you start seeing those little red flags, but then you start seeing how maybe that person was not compatible with you, and what you can do in the future to kind of either remove that or mitigate it,
or never even start that shit in the first place, right? Like, oh no. Yeah, I see what you're trying to hide.
It's funny
there.
that you brought up like it's like the because love will be considered a drug, I guess. If you
It
put it
is.
scientifically, it's like the chemicals.
Yeah.
But I will, what did I do? There was like a paper or like scientific paper and shit. But how after a breakup, all the feelings and the chemicals that go in your head, it's like you're being removed from heroin. Like it's that bad.
Yes, I read that too.
And I was like, damn, like it must be that strong. Like, and that's what you feel like shit and like.
I read that too. It's so funny because that quote, like it's a quote. I don't know who said it, where it says, there's no stronger drug than another human being. And I read that years ago, right? And I was like, yeah, it's true. Because at that point I had already experienced like heartache, you know, I haven't had it a lot, luckily, but I've had enough. But then when I read that article, I don't know if it's the same article, but I was like, holy shit. It makes total sense, because I know I felt like hell, man.
Yeah, it's a shitty feeling.
Like not even wanting to get out of bed. Just like, and I remember it was right before 4th of July, and I love 4th of July. Not last year. I was all stupid fireworks. Everything was stupid. I didn't even want hot dogs. I didn't want anything. I was like, fuck 4th of July and your happiness and fireworks.
Nah, but I mean, it makes you do crazy things.
Yeah.
And you just put yourself in a worse position when if you keep dwelling on it.
Oh yeah.
You just go deeper and deeper.
But tell me, like, seriously, like the first few weeks, I know for me it was like an obsession. Like I could not stop thinking about him. I couldn't stop.
Yeah, like
it was
the person you broke up with, right? The breakup?
Yeah,
no, it's true. I felt the same way. I remember just falling asleep. It was just so hard to fall asleep because I just, like, I don't know if you've ever done like psychedelic mushrooms and stuff, but
I'm too scared, but they look fun.
Yeah, one of the things that happens, at least from one of my experiences, is your mind it's just full blast firing thoughts after thoughts after thoughts. And after, my breakup years ago, it felt like that, but it was just thoughts like of her, back to back. What she's doing, who she's with, and that's just like it's crippling. In a sense, it's crippling, and I didn't want to get off my bed. I quit my job because I didn't want to go to work.
Did you work with her?
No,
I was just bad.
I was just like, fuck, I can't.
No, I swear to God, if I could have quit, I would have. I just couldn't.
I remember showing up to work. My eyes were just like fucking, todos hinchados.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was like, "Hey, are you okay, man?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm cool." And then, like, a few minutes later, I was like, I can't do this. And I told him, hey, can I go home? This and this happened. Yeah, sure. I left. And I just text my manager, hey, I quit. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, but because I was just in a bad place,
Yeah.
It could be a bad place.
Hell
yeah. And initially, it's going to be bad.
Oh, yeah.
But, I get out of it. Kind of learned. Just one thing. Another thing I learned was just, like, I was in Buddhist mode at some point. Like,
I love it.
And it helped. I
love Buddhist teachings, yeah.
And one thing that just kind of helped a lot was, just because the idea of love, because love expands outside of us, outside of our, relationships and stuff. It, our love for the sky and stuff, love is love. Mm-hmm. So, like...
It's broad.
Yeah, it's broad. And one of the things that caught my attention was, just because the love is not happening to you how you want it, does not mean that it doesn't exist.
Oh, wow. That's really good. That's so good. I love that.
And, it doesn't exist inside of you now, but it exists with the old couple outside of you. And, like... the love for a father and a son is in the park or something, and I started seeing things like that, and I just remember, like, tearing up when I'll see something like, that's a nice little family right there, Mm-hmm. And I'll feel like, you could be happy for them, and you can enjoy the idea that love exists right there.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna come back at some point, And that kind of just, like, made me just be open more to things, like, at least, like, an ex-style, an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I would say, like, maybe, she's not with me. That's it. I'm more than okay with that now. She's with somebody else, and the love exists between those two people. Mm-hmm. And the idea that love continues to exist, it should be enough for you to kind of, like, let it go, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I went through some weird phases.
No, I love that. It's funny you said that right now, because I hadn't been able to put into words one of the realizations that I had this weekend. It was a very busy weekend with all these thoughts, but it was exactly that. I just didn't have words for it. I remember thinking, like, why can't I just appreciate love instead of being fixated on having it look a certain way in my life? Because I've always said I love love. I love love stories.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my favorite things to see is, like, a little old couple holding hands. That shit melts my heart. I will, like, watch all creeper-like, like, oh, that's so beautiful. Like, I love seeing older couples still being affectionate. But that's one of the things, and you put it into words for me, because I didn't have words for it until you said that right now. I'm like, that was my thought. That was my thought. Like, appreciating the love around me. But think about it, like, even to be able to have an appreciation for it, you have to have it in you. It's in you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because you're capable of.
Yeah. It's just not manifesting perhaps in the way that you're wanting it to right there and then.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's okay.
Yeah. And those are the type of thoughts that you have, and they'll change your perspective,
Yeah.
And I think those are, like, those healthy growth, like the healthy growth.
Yeah.
That comes from it.
But like that, you could not have told me that shit like the first few weeks. I would have been like, fuck love, fuck your love, fuck everyone's love. Fuck the old couple.
Fuck the old couple.
Fuck it all. Yeah, it took a little while. For me to be like, all right, I'm bitter. Let me get over it. And then I'll be back to normal.
Yeah, I'm just, I just feel, I guess right before we finish this off, like, I had read some article too, like, how they say, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. And some people are like, oh, there's nobody out there for me. But, like, I guess they put it in a mathematical sense. And they, for everybody that exists, at least on the planet, you may think that nobody's out there for you. But there's at least a group of at least 20 people somewhere out in the world.
It's a big world, though.
Yeah,
Fuck. Only 20, huh? Goddamn.
Maybe more than 20. But, like, there's still potential to find a mate that's gonna be attracted to you, or you're attracted to that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's for sure more than 20.
I was like, no, I will 20, huh? Damn.
Or it was 20 people within the lifespan of your life or something. Like, within, a normal human lifespan. It's like 20 people. You know what? I forgot the research. Fuck that.
I'm like, my whole life now. Well, it got smaller and smaller and smaller.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? I'm just right now, I'm like so about, I absolutely have to just live.
Yeah.
And allow whatever's meant to be to be. And if what is meant to be is for me to be alone, that's okay. Like, I've had the privilege of experiencing love and loss. I've had the privilege of knowing what it feels like to have someone say a million words with a look. Like, how many people can say that?
Yeah.
Not everyone. And so that's where I'm at. Just like gratitude for what I've been able to experience and being like, I got to do a lot. And if I don't ever have it again,
Yeah.
you know, of course we always want more, right? We always want more cake. But, you know, it's cool. I've had cake.
Yeah, you got to
I got to experience cake.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's where I'm at right now. Like, you know, I may never have it again, and it's okay. You know, like, I'm just going to enjoy my journey and enjoy my process. This shit got all deep. We were...
Starts with Tinder.
Right, and it all ends in like fucking Buddhist conversations. We're gonna end in meditation, guys.
Meditation. Just take 5 minutes.
Your mantra for today is
love is love.
It's love.
Well, thank you, Heidi.
Great.
Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, it was great. So I can talk about this shit forever.
Yeah, I mean, I know you don't do your show anymore. You don't have any more plans on doing that, right?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're like on break.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, we're on break. So you let me know
Sounds good.
whenever you want me to shoot the shit with you.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
cool. I mean, people are gonna ask about Dusty and Heidi Show, but let's just say it's
on hiatus.
It's on hiatus right now.
But I mean, they can still go on like SoundCloud and iTunes, and you know, they're out there. The episodes are out there. We just, I don't know where we're at.
Okay.
We haven't like officially broken up. So I don't know. We're on break.
Sounds like the last podcast I was with the other guys, but
oh yeah,
it is what it is.
It
right
is,
now.
yeah.
Cool. But again, thank you, Heidi.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a blast. Yeah, for sure.
Peace.